Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Medeek Floor Plugin. My name is Nathaniel P. Wilkerson, and today I wanted to discuss floor coverings, which is a new feature that I've added to the floor plugin. So to get things going here, I've gone ahead, saved a little time, and just created this just quick little structure with a regular floor, I-joist floor, and some exterior walls, and just a couple little interior walls to split this into two rooms here. So all right, so just kind of a really basic structure just to demonstrate the fundamental concepts of the floor plugin here. So what I wanted to show you guys first is the toolbar. So the toolbar is this little colorful guy here, and you basically have 5 icons or 5 tools available to you. And so you have the draw function, the move or edge move function, the edit, the regen, and the delete. So we'll go ahead and put that back. So there's 2 basic ways to create these floor coverings or floorings on a floor. And the one way is using kind of the polyline method, where you go point by point. And the other way is, just to select a face that you've already pre-created, and you can use that as the the profile or template to create your flooring with. So first I'm going to just go ahead and put down a face for this larger piece just to show you guys how to use the face function. So let's just go ahead and get the standard draw tool here, and we'll just start working our. Now with carpet, one could go all the way to the framed edge, or it could go to the gypsum. I think typically though you probably want it to the gypsum because you're gonna put the carpet after you put the wallboard in. So we'll just go with that, and I'm just going to trace. It's going to take a little while here. I apologize. I probably should have pre-made this face, but I'll just work my way around the perimeter of this room to create this little face that we're going to use to create our flooring with. So we just got to go point by point. So right here, it's a little interesting. I'm going to want the carpet to go into the threshold and then terminate on the inside here. So I'm going to just go right to this where this case or framing here goes, and then I'm just going to go right to here. Hopefully we get that right. Same thing here. I'm just going to grab that little corner, jump around to the other side, and there we go. And then I'm going to also turn that phone off. I should have turned that ringer off before I started, but I forgot, so my apologies. Okay, and then we're just jumping around here. Oh, I've got back into the wall. Don't want to do that. And then we just grab this corner over here. Okay, and we're almost there. Now, on this exterior door, typically you're going to have a threshold, and of course your carpet's not going to extend into that threshold or door opening, so we're just going to basically run right past it, and we'll go ahead and just terminate right here. Okay, and as you can see, we've got a little Z fighting there, which is what we'd expect. So that face is right on the face of the floor, which is exactly where we want it. So one thing to note is that when you place your flooring, it will place it within the assembly, the floor assembly itself, and it will the Z height of that will not necessarily be on the the top of the sheathing. I mean, it should be, but it's not actually looking for that. It's going to put it wherever you create that face. So if you lift that face up a ½ inch or whatever above the sheathing height, it will place it a ½ inch high. Okay, so we've got ourselves a face. Now, what I like to do actually is turn off my walls just to get kind of the clutter out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take these walls and just go like that. And I got 6 groups, 6 walls, right? I'm going to actually put I've created another layer here called level 1. Okay, and you can do this, by the way, with, I think I showed this in another video, but I've actually started doing this. Normally the assemblies are created on just layer 0 or the default layer, but what you can do is you can actually put the assemblies themselves on another layer, and this makes it handy because if you want to toggle off now all of these, you can just turn off that layer or tag, right? So now we've just got the floor with that face basically sitting on top of it. All right, Now we will, okay, so now that we've got that face created, let's go ahead now and use the flooring tool. And so we just go draw floor covering, click that. And you're going to notice it looks kind of similar, this little icon up here where it says polyline. It's very similar to the floor tool itself. So to switch to face mode, we just go ahead and click that. There is a hotkey as well. I'm going to just leave all of these presets, or not presets, default settings. We got carpet, we've got a carpet pad included. I think we got half inch, that's fine. And we'll just go with all the default carpet and carpet pad. So you notice as you mouse over, there's a lot of faces here that it's trying to find. So it's a little bit tricky, I find. So you kind of gotta carefully try to get grab this face, because you got the faces of the floor assembly itself that it's honing in on. So right there, notice that we've got the perimeter of that face selected now. It's green, and you've got the little corner marker showing where it starts. So we'll go ahead and see if we can click that and nail that. Yeah, and we did. Okay, so like I said, it's a little, and I may have to look at that and see what I can do to fix the algorithm a little bit. But right now, it's trying to grab all these other faces that it's finding. But we're trying to just find a face. So, and there might be situations where you do actually want to grab the face of this floor itself, so you put carpet or whatever on top of the entire thing. But in this particular case, no, we have a special face that we're trying to assign that to. All right, so there we go. There's our carpet, and yeah, pretty basic. I'm going to just show you real quick here the edit function. So let's say I want to edit this. Just click the edit tool. Mouse over top of it, and it looks very much the same as the draw flooring menu. Let's go ahead and I don't know, let's jump this up to say 3/4 of an inch. We got a thicker shag carpet, for instance, or we can change the actual material, and you'll notice that the carpet thickness increased. We could turn off the underlayment, and if you do turn it off, you'll notice that the carpet will drop to the 0 point or the floor, right? So one thing to be aware of, let's turn that back on. One thing to be aware of is that these assemblies within the floor, so yeah, they're with the coverings are actually their own little assembly or group within the floor assembly itself. So if I click into this main group, you're going to notice, you got all the pieces for the floor, but this here, the covering itself, or the flooring, is a separate instance with it says flooring, and then it'll have like a string of numbers, just like the floor assembly itself. And then within that, you're going to have your underlay and your carpet, right? So, and your labels and all that good stuff. So basically what it is the way this is set up is that the floor coverings are assemblies within the floor assemblies, but they're not being generated by the actual module that creates the floor. They're actually almost like, they're almost kind of like electrical assemblies within a wall, where the electrical plugin handles them, but the wall plugin just makes sure it doesn't erase them. And that's the same here. So like, let's say if we bumped up this floor depth, it will not adjust the positioning of this flooring. And so what we would need to do is jump in to the assembly itself and then move our flooring up and down if that's what we needed to do. And then once we do that and jump out, it will stay put. So something to be aware of. So if you do, say you go to a thicker eye joist or something and change up the depth of the floor itself, you may need to adjust your flooring height so that it's not buried within the floor itself. But once you do that, it will retain that. So every time you regen your floor, it should retain that height as well. Okay, just a little discussion there. So let's go ahead and turn back on our walls, and we can see our carpet is in there now. And so now let's go ahead and put down a tile floor inside of this room. Okay, so let's use the point-to-point method. And I'm just going to go ahead and switch this now to tile. You'll notice as you change the different flooring types, you will change the default tile or default hardwood. So it'll do that. Now, if you change the underlayment type, it does. I don't have it set up right now that it does change the underlayment material, but automatically. So you'll want to change that, but we'll see how that goes. Again, this is completely new, this module, and so I'm sure as time goes on we will be adjusting things a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and set that to just a backer board, and then I'm going to change that, and see it did not change the default pad. I'm going to use Hardy Backer there, hit update on that. Okay, yeah, that flooring thickness probably a little too thick. That tile, let's go 1/4 inch maybe. Leave that underlayment right there. Okay, so now notice we've got polyline mode. We're going to go ahead and draw this using the polyline mode. So we'll just go here, find our points. Hopefully I can go fairly quickly here. I don't want to take all you guys' time. I'm not always that fast with my mouse. So I sometimes find this is a little cumbersome. I'd rather create the face, but I don't know. It's whatever you kind of want to, how you want to handle that. So I'm just kind of working my way around this edge, and I'm going to finish it right there. Okay, so you can see, boom, it drew the tile. And let's take a look here. Let's turn off our walls so we can get a better look at it, make sure it's right. Okay, so there we go. There's a tile layer with a backer board. You'll notice too that let's go here into the layers or tags. So we've got ourselves, actually let's get all the wall tags, let's go up here to this. Okay, we've got a tile layer or tag that's putting tile on. We've also got up here a little further, we've got a carpet layer. You can turn that on. And then for underlayment, I have everything currently put on one layer. So if we turn off the underlayment, of course, and there's that face that we have. You know, you can, I don't know, we may change that up depending on what people want, but right now I have underlayment just all in one layer, so I haven't split that out into a more granular sort of arrangement yet. All right, so let's go ahead and just turn those back on. All right, there's so many layers here, it's hard to keep track of everything kind of, but I don't know. With the newer versions of SketchUp, this is, by the way, 2017, so this is old. But I like to show everything in this version, just because this is the oldest version that I support currently, and if it can work here, then typically it will work everywhere. All right, let's turn back on our tile. Okay, all right. So there we go. Everything looks about right, and you know we can see that we have this step in here into the threshold, and then up against our tile. So there will be situations now, let's take a look, turn our walls back on. Okay. So there will be situations where you may change up your walls, right? So let's do that. Let's grab this wall. I don't know, let's just say we bring it 2 feet this way. Notice that we shifted our door. I don't want to do that right now. I'm just going to go shift this door, move opening, and can't see my arrow real well. There's too much geometry in the way here. Well, let's see if I can. Let's see if I can just key it in. Hopefully that works. Oop, we're going the wrong direction. Sometimes this happens to me. It's hard when you can't see your arrows. So we're just clicking the move opening and then trying to move. I probably want to turn off our different layers here. Let's see if we can see things better here. If we turn off some of these layers, tile and underlayment. So turn off the tile. There we go. And let's turn off the carpet as well. Sorry, I probably should have better prepared. Okay, now we can see our arrows. Okay, so we got that. Let's just key that 24 inches in there. Okay, that's better. All right. So now we're going to notice that if we turn back on all this carpet and everything, and underlayment, well, you're going to notice, first of all, we want to regen that wall, get that in the right spot. Okay, so, right, our carpet is in the wrong spot. So what I like to do with this is, now we're going to move the edges, right? I generally like to move, I mean, if you move them and they overlap each other, it's going to get harder to select the edge that we want to move. So I think it's probably best if we try to not do that. So basically we're going to use the Move Floor Covering tool. Go ahead and click that. Notice as soon as you do that, it's going to hide the underlayment and all these layers, and you're going to see it's going to turn on the outline layer. Okay, the outline layer is a layer that is typically hidden, and you can turn it on yourself. It's called Floor Outline. And then you can use that to select the right edge that you want to move. And then once you do, you can then move it to where you need it to go. So we're going to try to see if we can get it to reference to this line. That should do it. Okay, and notice as soon as you finish, it turns all those back on. At least that's the way it should work. Okay, so let's try that again. So now we've got, we're going to move that next floor edge. Just click this, and then we just kind of got to move things around sometimes to get the mouse on it. Sometimes it's a little tricky. Oh, you know what it is? That edge, or no, the face. Actually, let's jump out of this tool real quick. We need to get rid of that other face because it's trying to grab that edge of that one face. So we'll go ahead and turn off. I forgot all about that actually. Once we were done with that face, we should have just gotten rid of it. So let's go ahead and turn off our underlayment, and let's either hide or delete this face, this edge. So I'm just gonna erase all that for now. I don't need any of that. Okay, turn that all back on. Sorry, I'm not quite as speedy as I wanted to be here. So yeah, something to be aware of. That's probably a good lesson there. If we do create a face, what I actually recommend doing is group it first of all, and then put it on a separate layer, and that way you can kind of use it as an outline, you know, and or outline layer for those sorts of things, and then go ahead and hide those. Hide that layer so that it's not conflicting when you're trying to grab your edges of your carpet or your other floor covering. So let's go ahead now, use this tool again. So now, as you can see, we can actually grab it, unlike before, and then we'll just reference to this edge, and it then shoves it up against the wall like we expected. All right, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Let's turn off our gypsum right now and just double check, make sure everything looks like it's in the right spot, but let's just make sure that it is in the right spot, okay? So if we get close here, we can see we should have about a 1/2 inch gap all the way around. Yep, and we do. And as you can see here at the threshold of this door, let's turn off our door hardware actually, just to take a quick peek at that. Where's my wall door? Right here, and then there's the door hardware. Well, we can turn off. Yeah, all right. So you can see we've got the carpet coming right up against, butting up against there like it should, and you know we've made allowance for the door for casing and framing. Yeah, so everything looks good as it should, and that's basically it. I mean, and then you can go in here and you can move these, you can edit them as we've shown. So for instance, our flooring here, let's change that tile real quick. Got default tile. Now you can use any of your custom materials that you have, for instance. Let's go actually and change this to hardwood just to see how that looks. And there we go. And now we've changed that to a hardwood floor. I just have a default hardwood. It's not the most attractive, but it works. Anyways, I think that's about it. Lastly, I just want to show you guys the delete, similar sort of thing, and the regen. You can regen these floors. Sometimes there will be situations where you may want to regen, but delete, you know, just get your mouse over it and click delete. And once you see it highlight, then you've selected it, and there you go. All right, guys, if you have any questions on this, you know, there's still some, you know, it's brand new. There probably will be some further updates and further parameters added. But if you got any ideas or suggestions, please feel free to shoot me an email, and I will see what I can do. All right, we'll talk to you later.